Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, Connoisseurs. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Today is Saturday. Happy Saturday, August 30th. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. We're going to do another rapid fire news update, this time for the period August 23rd to the 29th. And again, it's not a deep dive detail, it's just a high level overview in case you missed it. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as one of my platforms of choice going forward. So we'll jump right into the news. It wasn't a huge news week as we await a determination from the new administration on rescheduling, whether or not they're going to move forward with Schedule 3. There's been a lot of speculation that they might schedule it to something else on the CSA. There's been a lot of chatter going on about full-blown legalization as well. We know Chris Christie said that Trump would make the attempt to deschedule. It's just a question of when, right? I don't think any of us are contemplating the if. It's just, is it going to be a year, 2 years, 4 years plus? We just don't know. So we'll take some incremental wins as we get there. If we get rescheduling to Schedule 3, in my opinion, that'll be enough for now. It'll change the stigma. Everything will start to trend in the right direction. If we get safer banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ, I've been a true believer that we're more than likely going to see uplisting before descheduling, because they're going to want to get the JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs, the Morgan Stanleys all positioned before they unleash the shackles, if you will. But in other news, Google now allows MJ business advertisements under a new pilot program in Canada. And I mentioned this before that even on YouTube, you're starting to see they're starting to be a little bit more lenient with regards to certain advertisers. So if you're doing MJ content on YouTube, which is probably why you don't see very many people doing it, your videos haven't been able to be monetized, and they're not suitable for certain advertisers. So this is again a huge clue and step in the right direction that we're starting to see some major momentum shifting here, just from a corporation standpoint as well. And typically this usually precedes some sort of regulatory reform. So the fact that Google and other corporations, big corporations, are starting to warm up to it, that's a great thing, right? We're seeing even the NBA and UFC really start to change their policies. So again, now we need a top-down approach. We need the U.S. government and Congress to do what they were supposed to do and represent their people. And it's an 80-20 issue. It's time for reform in the U.S. and across the world. High Tide to open 2 new Canna Cabana locations in Ontario as they continue to roll out their store count in the province. Also, a new petition pushes Trump to legalize MJ, not merely reschedule it. So again, there's been a lot of push, and I would agree that rescheduling isn't enough. We can't just stop there. It's a great stepping stone. If I had it my way, I would just bypass rescheduling and deschedule it altogether. It has no business being on the CSA anyways. And it should be regulated just like alcohol. And actually, it should be on a different pedestal, because this is medicine and alcohol is poison. So we'll continue to monitor this, but I do think that rescheduling is the most likely scenario, and we could get an announcement. There was a lot of speculation that it could come on Thursday, and Betting Bruiser was saying on Friday and this weekend. So we'll see what happens. It's a long weekend. So we and Congress is on break as well, so we haven't really been seeing much on that front, but we do have some news pertaining to the MORE Act that was refiled in the House. Over 40 House Democrats have reintroduced that. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. Trulieve branded dispensary set to open in Cincinnati, Ohio, as they continue to roll out their store count. And they also appointed a board member, new board member Matthew Falston, and a new CFO, Jan Reese, I believe is how you pronounce it. So they've been having a lot of shakeup lately with regards to their executive team, and especially with the CFO. I remember their ex-CFO wrongly expensed like almost $500,000. So we'll see if this one has some staying power. Also, Canopy USA welcomes MJ veteran Eric Ruley as VP of Brand Sales. Ruley will oversee the company's sales strategy across the full Canopy USA portfolio. Also, 30-plus attorney generals call on Congress to implement MJ banking reform. So again, I think there's a strong possibility, especially after crypto legislation is all behind us. We already have the Genius Act, stablecoin legislation. Now they're working on market structure, so the Clarity Act. There's a lot of experts believing that that could be done at some point in September or October, at which point pretty much all of the crypto legislation would be done. We know that crypto, blockchain, AI have been the big focus right now for the new administration in the US. So after that, I think they're going to shift their focus over to MJ. And I do believe that there's a high probability that we'll get banking reform sometime between the end of the year and early 2026. But I think there will be a strong push ahead of the US midterms in 2026. Also, Green Thumb to lend Agrify $45 million and announces brand transactions with Agrify. So if you haven't seen that, you can check out the full details. Also, Tilray Brands successfully regains compliance with the NASDAQ's minimum bid price requirement. So they did close above $1 for 10 consecutive days. I posted a video on this and love to see it. It was record time. They had until September 21st, and they were looking to get a NASDAQ extension, which would have took us to March 20th, the deadline. And similar to VFF, they were able to regain compliance organically. Didn't even need the extension. So this is great. Kudos to everybody who stayed the course, and kudos to the Tilray Brands team on a job well done. Also, Tilray Medical expands presence in Germany with introduction of new good supply medical MJ strains. So Tilray affirms continued commitment to German healthcare and expanding patient and pharmacy access in Europe's largest medical MJ market. And we know that they're first to market in Italy as well. And we've been seeing a lot of inroads in the European market. And we've got France on the cusp of some major reform as well. Trump should reschedule MJ on the way to fully descheduling it, says Roger Stone in an op-ed. So again, I don't think rescheduling is the end goal. I think that's just a stepping stone, personally. And if we can get that done, that'll be a huge momentum shift and just removing the stigma. And it's just when you're on the same list as heroin, it doesn't really bode well for these in the eyes of these lawmakers and with regards to research. And you think about these companies with fiduciary duties, it just doesn't look good. We even remember hearing from Kevin O'Leary. He said that he was looking at an MJ company and he was looking at investing in it early stages, and his lawyer basically told him he was crazy because it's on Schedule 1. You can't touch it. So again, this would open the door to a lot of kind of the venture capitalists of the world as well. Also, EU is planning to recognize hemp flowers. So this, in Canada, we legalize it all the same. It's hemp, MJ, it's all legalized under the same regulations, and it's all treated the same. So ultimately, I think that's where we need to end up, and I think that's where we will end up. But nice to see that we're seeing some progress here, and the rest of the world is moving ahead as well. And I don't think, again, the U.S. is never first, they're never last. They don't have to be first. They definitely don't want to be last, but they don't have to be first because they have the biggest economy in the world, the biggest capital markets in the world, and they can easily leapfrog and catch up whenever they decide to go full-blown support mode. And we'll see what happens here with regards to the next few months, but I'm very hopeful. Cautiously optimistic has been a popular term, but I do think that with the rise in prices that we've been seeing lately, there's tons of bullish continuation patterns on deck on the charts. It's looking like we're heading a lot higher from here, and it's more than likely going to be on some news pertaining to rescheduling. Also, U.S. Congress legislation to end federal MJ prohibition filed in the House. And like I said, this was 40 Democrats. So you got today Representative Gerald Nadler, along with MJ Caucus co-chairs Dina Titus and Ian Omar and Nydia Velasquez, reintroduced the MORE Act, described as one of the most comprehensive MJ reform bills ever introduced in U.S. Congress. So we know that it passed the House multiple times. It's just stalling in the Senate. So that will be the challenge here. But we've also got like the States Act 2.0, States 2.0. You've got the CAOA. There's going to be, like I said, it's hard to say what will happen. Hard to say which bill will make it through. But at the end of the day, the fact that we just keep seeing this reintroduced time and time again, is only going to move the needle and just bring us over the finish line, right? When something keeps coming up, when it's this big of an issue, when 80 to 90% of the population and citizens in the US want it legal in some form, whether it's medical or recreational, the fact of the matter is that people have spoken, and it's time for Congress to do what they were set out to do, is represent the people and craft laws for the people. And like I said, this is a huge issue. It's low-hanging fruit, and in my opinion, it's overdue, right? We've been almost legal at the federal level here in Canada for 7 years, and there's still no pathway in the US to legalization. So I think they're going to want to put their foot on the gas here and really start to get this across the finish line. Also, MJ reports their first quarter results with 25.9 million of revenue, and they also announced transformational capital projects. So if you haven't seen that, you can check it out. Full disclosure, I am a shareholder, and I think this is a great smaller operator here in Canada. So if you haven't seen that, you can check out the full details. Also, not so great news. Canopy Growth establishes a new US $200 million at-the-market program to strengthen its company's financial position. So this, the gong show continues, if you will. They're looking to do a second reverse split, and they're seeking shareholder approval, I believe it is, on September 25th. And they're looking to do, like I said, to enact another second reverse split similar to Aurora. We know they already did a 1-for-10, and then just kicking us when we're down, right? Talking about an offering and more dilution. So not what we want to see. And unfortunately, I still saw a lot of people who were surprised by this. I've been saying for a while now that, Canopy, companies with debt like Canopy that have no clear pathway to profitability like Canopy, it's probably going to be a while before we see profitability and eradication of their debt, at least a couple of years in my opinion. So the fact that, a company has mounting debt, they have no clear way to profitability, right? They're not profitable. We need to expect more offerings, more dilution, right? That's just the name of the game. And this might not even be the end of it. So again, we shouldn't be surprised if the company was paying down its debt and it had minimal debt, and it was slowly starting to turn into, trade into the black and turn profitable. Then we can start to assume that dilution is probably going to be a thing of the past. But I would say it's very, very possible that we see it again in the future. I also shared this on X. This is a couple days ago. We were talking about this in the Pow Group private community, but you can see here this was from the White House press office. And there was some executive orders that was set to be signed by the president at 3:30 on Thursday. So there was a lot of speculation that this could potentially pertain to rescheduling, especially with the long weekend ahead. But nothing came of it. So it looks like a nothing burger. We'll see if we get an announcement, though, at some point next week. They said a few weeks. So, again, that could mean 3. That could mean many. They like to kind of leave things in limbo. And the fact of the matter is nobody really knows. But there's tons of people saying MJ Insiders. There's Betting Bruiser was saying it was going to come out on Friday. So yesterday and then this weekend. So, again, I don't think anybody truly knows. It's just, like I said, we just have to be patient. And I think just with the share price appreciations that we've been seeing, I think we have a strong idea of where we're more than likely going to go and what the news is going to be. And I would say it's favoring positive, and I would say that's favoring Schedule 3. Also, Doug Cass, the YouTube of the press conference, so there was some more drama here, was framed as if it was live, but it was an old press conference. So people thought that there was this new press conference and live stream, and it ended up just being the old video, and it basically just reiterating what they said before, and everybody thought it was going to be another few weeks on top of that. So I didn't actually get duped by that at all, but this here is what I was referring to, and it said closed press. So I was a little bit confused with regards to that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I'm not trading off of this anyway, right? There's definitely traders out there who were, but it's not affecting me any. I'm buying the lows, I'm buying the blood in the streets. I'm not looking to sell anytime soon. And if a lot of our names at MJ were to go up another 100% from here, 200%, I still wouldn't be selling because my take profit and my exit plan take profit price levels are much higher than what they are right now. If we get to say $10 on Tilray or something, I'll start to consider taking out my initial investment. And same thing with like Oxley. If we get to 50 cents, which is much higher than it is now, right? I think we're at like 15 or 16 cents. So I'm not looking to sell anytime soon. I've got a part of my portfolio that's a short-term account, so I'm going to be taking profit at much lower price levels. And I've got a long-term account as well where I'm not selling any of my MJ, right? I could own multiple MJ stocks. So let's say I own Tilray in my long term, I owned it in my short term. I might take that $10 initial investment out at $10, but that would be in my short term account, right? And then in my long term account, I'm just holding that Tilray position and my other MJ positions until the US legalizes at the federal level. Not rescheduling, but fully deschedules it and legalizes it at the federal level. That's what I'm here for. And I'm not here for taco gains. I'm here for the life-changing wealth. I'm here for the 50Xs, the 100X plus. And if you haven't already checked it out, I posted this week my interview with CEO of Oxley, Hugo Alves. Tons of people just commenting about how amazing it was, and hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I also just posted a video and interview of Ben Z, CEO of Decibel, and that was the second time that they were both on my channel. So if you haven't seen those, you can check those out this weekend. Like I said, long weekend. So if you're looking for something to do, highly encourage you to check those out. All right, let me know what you think of this news in the comment section below. We'll continue the conversation there. It's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Enjoy your long weekend, and we'll see you again on the next video.